Do you want to do the intro? Do you want to do the intro?
Oh, that's a lot of pressure. Shall I just try and pretend to be you?
Do your best impression of me for the intro.
Hello, and welcome back to Dutiful Future. I'm here with my friend Hugh, and we're going to get into some tear-making videos.
Hi, everyone.
Hugh, hello.
Hi, Kat.
That
was good. That was really good. I'm very good, thanks. But yeah, we're making a political scandals tier list. We're back. Political insults was okay, but we've got a better one here now.
Yes.
Thanks for the great intro. As you can see, we've got from top tier to meh tier, and we have about 18 political scandals represented by fun photos, and we're going to go through them and rank
The
them.
question is, what are we ranking them in terms of? That's up to us.
Oh yeah, no.
That's how this works.
This is the objective tier list. We're right, and we're going to rank them however we feel like it. Right, number one, we're starting with everyone's favourite, the absolute classic. David Cameron boned a pig when he was in university. And
It was a dead pig, though.
It was a dead pig. He did insert his genitalia inside of a dead pig. That's to put it quite nicely. Cam, what do you think about this scandal? I'm going to not even say. I'm just going to put my opinion. Top tier.
It was top tier at the time.
Okay.
Yep. At the end of society,
Yeah.
I suppose you've got to do what you've got to do until you have to.
Yeah, until you have to,
Yeah,
do something to a pig.
definitely weird.
Do you think top tier? Do you think it's... I think it's amazing. I don't think it has much of an impact as I would have liked it to.
Yeah, I'd say top tier.
I think top tier. I think it's decent, but I think it didn't have as much of an impact as I would have liked. It has tarnished his political career. Or at least his memory of him, which I think is good.
At the time, it was huge.
Keeping on the track of bacon, Ed Miliband once ate a bacon sandwich in a funny way. And for some reason, it was the only thing in the news for months. What do you reckon?
On a level of the internet itself and the fact that it was in the news, very funny. Should it have been in the news?
No. There was probably more important things to worry about.
Well, there are probably funnier things to worry about.
There probably are funny.
Well,
There's probably funnier scandals to worry about. I think it's not really a scandal.
Low to meh.
Really? Low to meh. It's not a meh.
No.
I think the fact that it's so mundane makes it at least mid-high. Lower mid, sorry. Lower mid.
Okay.
I mean, lower mid.
Yeah.
We'll go low for now.
Okay.
Right. Next up is a less commonly known one. This was called Bridgegate. It was Chris Christie, right? He was the governor of New Jersey. He was unhappy with a mayor because he was criticizing him. So, allegedly, he and his team organized a massive traffic jam in New York, New Jersey area.
Okay.
And basically blocked off random roads to just totally shut down the city for a week because someone criticized him. And then it was called Bridgegate. Yeah. 2013, pretty big deal back then.
Good shithousery.
Yeah. It's all right. It's a good bit of a practical joke, you know. I think low, better than bacon sandwich, but low. All right, I'm fine with that. Here we have. I couldn't really nail one specifically down for this, but so I've just gone with the entire life of Silvio Berlusconi. Berlusconi had a corruption-ridden time as, I guess, Prime Minister of Italy. I think that's what it is. I think it's Prime Minister, maybe a president. One of those things. But yeah, he was sentenced to several years in prison for prostitution and child prostitution. Less fun. He was acquitted. So I don't know if that means he didn't do it or he did do it, but Italy's, and he did loads of corruption scandals. But what he was most famous for, as you brought up, it was Bunga Bunga, which is what he would call his dinner parties, which I imagine where some of the acts he was accused of took place. I think
he also owned Milan.
He did own Inter Milan for a period of time,
so
and I think he used them for. He
took them to bankruptcy.
Yeah,
just
funnel all the money.
Italy's GDP.
Yep, because why not? I think high tier. I think that's a classic. It's very Italian scandal.
It's very like a politician who openly abuses his
power. Yeah. He was honest about it, and he kept getting elected. I think it's a good. I think Berlusconi had a good career in political scandals. He did it in a memorable way. Boom. First one from America now. This is the Stormy Daniels Donald Trump scandal.
Big one.
Basically, the story was she claimed that Trump paid her basically $130,000 to sign an NDA about their alleged affair, right? And it was proven that I think that was the case. And then Michael Cohen was Trump's lawyer guy before Giuliani, and he went to prison because of money laundering from campaigns to pay her in 2016, basically. So he went to prison for 3 years, but then she took him to court 3 times to try and overturn the NDA or say it was illegal or whatever. The first time she lost. Second time she was forced to pay $300,000 worth of legal fees to Donald Trump because it was such a ridiculous case. And then the third time is ongoing, I believe. But then this time, Trump's not the defendant; it's someone else. But it was massive in the media. It really blew up about her having an affair with him.
Yeah. In terms of, there were a lot of affairs, and it was before he was president. So,
it was during the campaign. I think it's mid tier.
It's mid tier.
I think it's a mid tier because I think sex political scandals are always more fun.
They're more fun.
It's like two worlds colliding. You know? I think mid tier. Are you fine with mid tier?
I'm fine with it.
It was, and plus she's a porn star, which I think in America,
that makes it a lot more interesting.
Yeah, in America at least that's like a big deal because like, and I think part of it was that his base is so like Christian Puritan.
So
that like that made it a bit more like scandalous. Somewhat, she got paid to have sex with someone, and now he has sex with them. Wow. But no, I think mid tier. I think it's pretty solid. It's like it's not the best, but it's it's pretty good.
It was good news.
At the time it was pretty funny. It was a shame that it didn't come out to be like as true a scam as it realized. I think if she'd won, it would have been more interesting. Next up, similar along these lines, a president doing some fun stuff. We have Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky, where basically Monica Lewinsky was his intern, and they had I don't know if they had actual sex, but they had oral sex in the White House. And basically, there's the famous quote where he goes, "I did not have sexual relations with that woman." It's a bit of a meme, but in the beginning, like a lot of people forget this, like how awfully she was treated, like. All the media outlets were like hating her. They were like, "Oh, she's lying. She's making it up. She's just like crazy." Yeah, they tried to portray her as a stalker. That was like one of the big things. Yeah. But then obviously it came out to be true through a lot of different things. I think it's a high tier.
I say
it got him impeached for God's sakes for perjury
in the White House.
In the White House. That's definitely in that chair that we can see behind there in the photo. No, I think it's a high tier. I think it's an absolutely classic scandal. It was like one of the biggest like ones. It was probably one of the biggest ones at the time. And he got impeached over it because of perjury. Like that's insane.
And also, as interesting was seeing Hillary's reaction.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing. I think these two scandals kind of play off a lot each other because like they're very similar in like lying.
It was also good ammunition for the anti-Hillary campaign.
It was great for the debates. Trump. That's true. Like because that was one of the Hillary Clinton's best like campaign things, where she really hit Trump well at certain points on his like dodgy stuff with women, and like he's like millions of accusations against him. But then obviously at the debate he brought a lot of the Bill Clinton accusers, and that was pretty crazy. I think it's a high tier. Okay, next one we're jumping back in time a bit. This is a really old one. This was called Teapot Dome. So it was during Harding's presidency. You probably won't even know him because he had a really short time. He was so insignificant. And his then Secretary for the Interior,
pretty niche president.
You wouldn't know. He's a bit underground.
Yeah, he's underground.
Secretary for the Interior, Albert B. Fall, basically gave the rights for like a military oil like base to private companies. Which doesn't sound that crazy, but it was worth like hundreds of thousands of dollars, which at the time in like the 1920s, that's like a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
And it was a massive scandal because basically, he gave rights to private companies who then like fucked it up and totally ruined it and took advantage of it. And it was the first time ever in American history that a sitting cabinet member was put in prison for something they did in office.
That's exciting.
Yeah, that's the thing that brings it up a bit. Because there's loads of stuff like that nowadays, but it was the first time ever that a sitting cabinet member had been arrested for something they did as a politician. What do you think? Where are you feeling on this one?
It's interesting.
It's interesting, but it's not not sexy.
System, how exciting is it?
It's that's true. It's very interesting, but it's not that exciting.
Yeah, news has to be sexy.
That's true. It does have to be sexy. We know that. I mean, look what's up here. Our top 3 so far is our top one's David Cameron. I think it's low mid. I think it's lower mid.
Yeah.
Right. Theresa May ran for a field of wheat. Apparently, it's the annoyingest thing she ever did.
That was good.
That was funny.
That was good.
That was funny.
Yeah.
Do you know what Corbyn's response was when he was asked that as well?
I do not.
He said, "You wouldn't want to know," which is a much better way of responding to that question. To be fair. So where do you think? I think this is a high mid because it wasn't much of a scandal. It's just really funny.
It's funny that she thinks it's a scandal. In her head, she was like, "Ooh."
In her head, she was like, "Oh, it's gonna be Watergate .2."
Her publisher's like, "Whoa, don't go there. You don't want that image.
You don't want that to be known." And that's the thing, because now she is known as that, but not for the reason that I'm sure she's suspected. I think it's mid tier. It's not as good as Stormy Daniels.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, okay. I think it's solid. It's not.
Image, I enjoy it.
Yeah, it's a great photo, isn't it? Next up, this photo isn't that telling, but if you someone will recognize this. If someone recognizes this, they'll know what I'm talking about, and I'd be very impressed. Basically, this is the MP expenses scandal of 2008, 2009. I think it was 2009. Basically, this was when the expenses system, where like you obviously had your salaries and then you get expenses, which was like things like travel. Loads of MPs were taking advantage of it for like ridiculous reasons, and it was a huge deal. Like loads of MPs were involved that you'd know. The person in the photo and the thing in the photo is a duck house. And this was Sir Peter Viggers.
That's a lovely duck house.
Claimed a lot of money for a duck house and expenses. Some other examples were someone claimed two garlic peeling sets, not just a garlic peeler, 2 sets of it.
This is the travel expenses.
Yeah. Another one was my favorite was probably horse manure for £380 worth for their garden.
You can't travel if you're not in a zen state of mind, and you need a nice garden.
You need to bring your zen garden with you, and everyone knows that a good zen garden needs horse manure. Yeah. I'm not certain this one's true. However, I'm under the impression that the husband of an MP used her expenses to buy porn. I've heard that. I didn't really bother googling
We need
it.
to get that confirmed.
We should. You know what? Is it true? Yes or no up here. Let's do 2 reactions. Oh look, it's true. I told you.
Sick.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Nice.
Great fact.
Top tier.
Yeah.
Top
straight away.
I think this is a top tier scandal.
It is
Because
funny.
not only is it really funny, it had loads of like really funny details. It was like basically every MP. It was so impactful, and it really did change politics.
Yeah.
It, like really.
The thing is, it's not that unusual. This sort of stuff will go on all the time.
Oh yeah.
In terms of claiming expenses.
Yeah. It was a huge deal. It was like it's kind of like the beginning of in the Tory party, like the ousting of a lot of older names because they really got tarnished by it, and that was where like Pig Boy over here got to come in.
Yeah.
And like there were a lot of MPs that used that like are still very relevant today. Where like had a big problem with like Michael Gove was a big one as well. I think top tier scandal. Right, the absolute classic here. One of the most famous ones ever. Probably the political scandal, Watergate.
So impactful.
Yeah.
Any scandal is now named after.
Exactly. That's the big thing. Every scandal is Brantgate. We've even got one here. Bridgegate, Piggate, Lewinsky Gate, maybe. Bacongate. That's down here. But yeah, so Watergate very simply was Nixon was accused of, or he wasn't accused. He definitely wiretapped the DNC.
Yeah.
It's the Democratic Party convention essentially. Which massive scandal, really crazy to use like secret intelligence to spy on your political opponents, blah blah blah. And I think really
famously uncovered by Forrest Gump.
Yes, famously uncovered by Forrest Gump, the best documentary of all time.
Yeah.
Where do you think Watergate goes?
In terms of how impactful it is,
yeah,
you'd say top.
It's higher, but it's not that sexy.
It is.
It's not very sexy.
Yeah.
And I think it's cool in terms of like it's a spying thing.
Yeah.
And I think the fact that every scandal now is called Gate bumps it up a bit.
There
was nothing that like there was nothing that sick. There's nothing film worthy.
It's very bread and butter.
Yeah.
Like,
I think middle of mid tier. Yeah. I think it is the standard scandal. I think it is the middle of the road scandal. Like this is what scandals are in politics.
True.
Hence the Gate term. So Keith Vaz, much like Berlusconi here, it's a similar one where it's just the life of Keith Vaz. But there is the main one that people will know is that he was caught on tape. It's not proven that he had sex with with 2 male prostitutes.
I thought it was.
No, it was only proven that he said he would buy drugs if they wanted to, because it wasn't a video, it was only an audio. No, it was a video actually. He was wearing a bra in the video, and he was smoking. He basically said that
Keith Vaz
was
the one in the case.
Yes, and he basically said like, "Oh, I'll buy us drugs if you want drugs." And
I too like to buy drugs for people I've just met.
Yeah.
For free.
And they also had male prostitutes that you don't have sex with them. That was the big one. But I think part of what also made this way funnier was that like he was always quite an authoritarian Labour MP. Like he was big on like censorship. He was part of the big campaign to like ban a book. He's a diehard Christian, and like that was a big thing of his. He really wanted to ban family, wife, kids. Really wanted to ban video game violence was one thing. I think he had like a big tirade recently. Recently within the scandal, being against prostitution and stuff. And then this video came out. Keith Vaz. Pretty funny. He lived. I think if he was a bigger name, it'd be more interesting. Yeah. Like it's a funny scandal, but he wasn't. He was just a random Labour MP. Like no one really cared about him.
It's funny that he was against all these things.
That's what I think makes it better is that like he was so diehard against these things. I think it's a high low. I don't think it's that low. I don't think it's that great. I think that because I've heard it so many times, it's kind of weakened on me a bit. It is pretty funny. The video is funny, but I don't think it's better than Stories. But it's real though. That's the thing. It probably is. It probably is better than Stormy. Is it better than Stormy Daniels? Because like,
because he had a family.
Because that's even worse. I mean, so did Donald Trump, but they're very similar actually when you think about it.
Yeah, but I don't think anyone's surprised that Donald Trump may have wanted to.
I think the difference is that I think the reason why I don't think it's that great is because he's not a big name. If he was like higher up or a cabinet or something impressive, I think I would have cared more. Yeah. But yeah.
I'd go mid. I'm not sure where.
I think mid. I think I'll leave it high mid for now. I think it is good. Next up, personal favorite.
Yes.
The Howard Dean scream. I'm gonna edit it in here. So that's the Howard Dean scream. Basically, he came third in Iowa, and then he screamed, and then everyone took him as a joke, and it was quite sad actually. I think meh.
Oof.
Meh. You know why? Because I feel bad for Howard Dean.
Yeah, and this is his chance to.
Not a good scandal. Not
this
interesting.
This is his chance to be successful and be on top of a list for once.
No, because it's not a good scandal. It's not even. It's not like a gaff like the Ed Miliband one where it's like it's not a scandal, but it's funny. Yeah. This isn't even funny. The scream's a little funny.
It was. No, his scream is hilarious.
The scream is very funny. Yeah. But it's not like.
And the fact that it lost him a ton of voters.
All right. Okay. It's better. It's better than that. It is better than that. That's fair enough. Okay. Low. High. Low. You want even higher?
We don't have our rating system, is whatever we say.
Yeah, but where do you want it?
Let's not justify this.
Where do you want it?
I'd say mid.
Mid. You want it in mid?
And by mid, I'm compromising. For me, it's top. I find it hilarious.
But how would you? But it's not a scandal. Low mid.
Okay.
Low mid. I think to be fair, the fact that it killed his campaign is pretty funny, and I think that does raise it higher. Next up, classic, the Iran. I think it's called the Iran-Contra affair. I don't know much about this one, but basically there was an embargo in place to stop arms sales to Iran. The goal was to urge Iran to release American hostages, which they had. But what happened was, not only was the deal discovered, they only released one hostage, and they sold them loads of anti-tank guns, which they then used to murder people. I think it's boring. People sell arms to people all the time now. Yeah. It's funny that it failed, but it's not. I think it's quite boring. I'm feeling like low.
Like, yeah, it's a political scandal, but it's not a political scandal that's going to. It doesn't belong in the sun.
Yeah,
I think that's what our rating system is based off.
Yeah,
whether it
I think that's kind of what we're going for here. Is it fun? You know, is it something that I want to remember about? I want to think about. It's not meh, because it was pretty serious. Next up is one that I think you definitely won't know, and this is my favorite.
But judging from the picture, it does look.
You see what he's doing?
Vaguely. Is he lighting up a?
You'll see. Okay. This is a man called Rob Ford. All right. He looks hilarious. I'm going to put another photo of him up on screen now. Mm-hmm. He looks really funny. Mm-hmm. He has a funny face. The mayor of Toronto, 2010 to 2014. He had loads of corruption scandals. But the video that you're seeing there is from a video that really blew up of him smoking crack.
I did see this video.
Whilst he was the mayor of Toronto, he smoked crack. The police found the video 6 months later. I think the funniest part of it is he didn't have his private Snapchat story. He didn't get arrested. He didn't get arrested. He didn't even resign. He just apologized. And then he tried to run in another race. And then he ended up backing out.
I've heard if he didn't even apologize.
I know, but I think his apology was quite yeah, it was very like, all right, sorry for smoking crack. Oh yeah. Sorry, guys. And he didn't resign. The funnier it is. I think Rob Ford, high tier. The fact that he didn't apologize, he stayed in office, and then only tried to do something else when the council limited his power massively.
And he's still in his work clothes.
Yeah, he's still wearing
he's in a suit.
He's probably in the office. He's probably in the office. High tier. So now we have the Eaton Affair. Mm-hmm. This is a really old one from 1829 to 1831. Basically, it was Andrew Jackson's Secretary of War. Was someone called John Henry Eaton, and whilst he was in cabinet, he married a woman called Peggy, and this is her that you can see there, Peggy O'Neill. Peggy becoming married with this guy started a bit of a ruckus in the Washington media and the cabinet at the time for her, and I'm quoting here, her promiscuous behaviour.
Showboat ankle.
I know. I think just before they were married, it destroyed his cabinet. He had to dissolve his cabinet because they all hated each other. She got shunned by all the other wives. They all really hated John Henry.
Good cabinet gossip.
Yeah. Basically, it was used as a way because there was a big political disagreement between this guy and someone else about tariffs, whatever. And he used Peggy as the face of oh, I'm gonna shit in your wife in the media if you don't, back off. But yeah, apparently her promiscuity, people really didn't like it.
So it's 19th century slut shaming.
It's an 1830s slut shaming.
Yeah.
It's the first sex scandal where she was just promiscuous. It wasn't even I don't think she even it wasn't something like, oh yeah, she slept with another minister. It was before they were even married, she was involved. Yeah. She just had a bit of a fun teen times. What the hell? Yeah. What are the 1800s? The fact that it dissolved his cabinet is insane. I think it's good. Where do you think? Where are you feeling in this?
It's funny because it was so long ago, and
it was so long ago.
These days, it wouldn't be
this. No, it wouldn't care at all. There's way worse.
Trump.
Yeah, exactly. But I like it. I think it's good because it's the 1800s. It's funny. Yeah, it's old timey. This was called the Profumo Affair, and basically this guy here, you can see in the photos, was called something Profumo. He was a cabinet minister in the Tories. He basically met a lady at a party. This 19-year-old woman at the time, I can't remember her name. I think she was called Keeler or something like that.
We'll go with something like that.
Basically, they met and they skinny dipped together or whatever, and then they started dating. But she was also dating a Russian person. And that person was a Soviet spy. And there was a massive thing of leaking secrets and stuff because they'd talk and then she would talk.
So in a way,
why would she do?
She's also a spy.
Yeah, exactly. In a sense, yeah. People found out about it. It was a whole big deal. She got arrested, and her Soviet spy got arrested. Boyfriend got arrested as well. And then he had to resign because he was dating a 19-year-old Soviet spy, and that's her. What do you think? It's very old school James Bondy.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's cool. It isn't particularly exciting. It's not exciting as I'd like it to be. It doesn't have a great end. but it's it is interesting.
Yeah, again, it's just political intrigue. It's
Yeah.
not like something stupid and wacky.
It's not wacky like this one up here. Which
Yeah.
we know why these two. We know why they're top tier. They're wacky.
Yeah.
I think it's quite mid tier as well. Dick Cheney, he shot his friend in the fucking face on a hunting thing, and then his friend said it was an accident. He shot his friend in the face and no one cared. And then the Iraq War, he made loads of money off
Oh,
it.
was it an accident?
Who knows?
That's why would it? I mean,
That's where the intrigue is.
yeah, but Caitlyn Jenner ran someone over, and no one cared.
She did run someone
I think
over.
our level of caring
That's true.
is, I think you're overestimating how much people care about stuff like this.
He did shoot someone in the face, which is pretty funny. But then also, I don't think also count the Iraq War.
Boris Johnson tackled a Japanese school kid.
He did. Where do you think Dick Cheney shooting his friend in the face goes?
How bad was the damage?
Pretty bad. If he's alive, if he was alive, he lived. Honestly, low.
Yeah.
I don't think it's meh. It's not like I don't care. I think it's low.
Do you think we'll have any mez?
This next one might be a meh.
Ending on a high. I like it.
This was a French one.
Yep.
This was the Mitterand phone tapping scandal. Basically, this guy was the French president, and he basically wiretapped loads of people's phones, like journalists, opposition people in his own party, like loads of people, and everyone was like, and people found out about the media, like, oh my god, what was it about? Like, why was he doing this? Like some sort of thing, and it was literally only because he was scared they were going to release the information about his he had a child out of wedlock, he had an affair, and I think a daughter. And that was it. And like that was everyone was like, oh, they thought it was like something massive, but really it was just this.
Yeah.
Which when you think about like Macron, where he's dating his like school teacher, he's married to a school teacher.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like you think in France,
What a guy.
Like
What a guy.
who'd care?
Yeah.
Meh.
Meh.
Like meh. You know, there's loads of phone tapping. Like Watergate is just that, but better.
Actually, his literal face is.
Yeah,
so
that is exactly.
meh.
Exactly. It's a meh
got a
face.
meh on his
Exactly.
face.
You get it. You get it.
I like Peggy and Keith at the top.
I like this here. I think it could be a low high tier.
Okay. I think it is funny because it's more old.
I think that really does help out. It's like it's so old. Like, it was such a tiny thing.
Yeah.
Like she used to be slightly promiscuous,
Mhm.
so it tore the cabinet apart. So this is our official political scandal tier list. The best political scandal we are saying is David Cameron and a pig. That's the best one. Worst one is whatever the hell this was, Mitterand or whatever. I don't care. But yeah, let us know what you think down below. If we got anything hideously wrong, if you want to do it yourself, there'll be a link to this template that you can use. Yeah, thanks for watching. Hit that bell, like and subscribe.
button, yeah.
Go for it. All right, bye everyone. Thanks for watching.